am getting fed up of Tottenham Hotspur taking fans for a ride. I'm getting absolutely fed up that we go into every window feeling this anxiousness, this paranoia that, is this the one? Is this the window? Is this the time that Daniel Levy and the board are going to act like a big club? Is this the window where we go, right, this is why we moved into the new stadium. This is what we were promised, that we were building the stadium so that we could compete with the big clubs, so that we could put our money where our mouth is, so that we could win titles, so that we could win Champions Leagues, at least build towards it. And yet again, it's only the 26th of June, but straight away, other clubs are making statements. Chelsea already got the striker in they need. Arsenal already got in the midfielder they want. Yes, they need a striker, but already got in a Zubimendi. Liverpool, Florian Wirtz, the club record signing at 120 million, whatever they paid for him. Man City already building out their new squad. Man United, Mbeumo should be wrapped up in the next few days, according to Ornstein and the likes. Cunha is already through the door. So I ask you, Tottenham Hotspur, where are we? Where are we acting like this big club? Where are we saying, there's our 4 or 5 targets for the first team. Let's make a move. And I'm not saying they're all going to come in June. But where's the statement? Where's the let's show these fans? Let's show these loyal fans who watch through thick and thin, turn up through thick and thin, travel the length of the country, travel across Europe, buy their shirts, fill out that stadium, buy that beer that fills up from the bottom, pay for those overly ridiculous priced shirts. Where is that signing for those fans to show them we mean business? This window's different. Where's that signing? We're not even in talks. Like, we know when big clubs are in talks. We know that Mbeumo is in talks because Ornstein said it, Romano said it, Plettenberg said it. Where are we in talks with anyone? Where are we in talks? I'm not talking about £5 million 20-year-olds. That's fine. I've got no problem with doing that. I've got no problem with Danso coming in for 20 odd million euros, whatever it is. But where's the signings that show we are serious? And no, I don't expect Tottenham Hotspur to bring in world-class players. I don't think those players are going to be attracted to Tottenham. But where are the next level down? Where are those players that come in straight away to the first 11 and relegate first 11 players into squad players? Where's that ambition? Where's the drive? Where's the push? Where's that determination? Where's that message, that signal of intent? The signal of intent. Where's that signing that gets all the Spurs fans on the same page? Where's the Eze, where if you signed him tomorrow, the whole fan base, let's be honest, would be like, yes. Yes, that signing unifies us. It unites us. It brings us together, whatever terminology you're comfortable with. Where's that signing? Instead, we've gone easy again, haven't we? Danso, we knew. I'm not bothered by the Danso one. We knew was a loan with an obligation. Easy, 20 million. Good, solid centre-half. Cool, that's fine. That was last year's business rolling over. Tell. I won't give my opinion on Tell, but again, Tell was a nice, easy deal to do because Bayern owed us money. It was easy to do. It was Spurs all over. Hang on, Bayern owe us money. We can get this player without actually laying out any money at the front end. We don't have to put a deposit down, so to speak. because they owe us money. So it was a nice deal to do. It was a lazy deal to do. You could scout around the whole of world football and find players better than Matisse Tell for 10 million, 15 million. And we've spent 10 million on a loan and then a further 30 odd million, whatever it is, in a transfer fee, plus with a 5 million in add-ons. This isn't intent, Tottenham Hotspur. And those fans that say, I'm happy with signings like that, that's not intent. The Coys signing, which is the first signing of the window, if we're going to be brutally honest, I'm not bothered by it because it's 5 million. It's one of those where we always say Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth, they make these signings. Why don't we? You bring them in for 5 million. You build them up. It's almost like renovating a house. You buy a house for 100 grand. You renovate it for another 100. You flip it for 300. You've made yourself 100 grand. I've got no problem with that. But these signings don't kick us on. So my question to Daniel Levy, to Vinay Venkatesham, to Charrington, who's gone in as a non-exec board director, to Joe Lewis, to the Lewis Trust Fund, to all of these people. Where's our ambition? You can sit there. You can sit there in a set-up PR media stunt going, oh, you love wine. Oh, yeah, but I don't know wine as much as you love wine. I've never seen anyone work as hard as you. Oh, failure's not an option. Spurs winning the Europa League's not enough. We want Premier Leagues. We want Champions Leagues. And then the very next couple of days, you sign Tell. And then you sign a 20-year-old. So which one is it? Do you mean what you say? Do you want the best for Tottenham Hotspur? Where are those signings? Now, yes, right now I know anyone watching this is going to say, Savva, the window's not shut yet. And of course, I understand that. Unfortunately, as Will Young said, once bitten, twice as shy. Well, I'm not once bitten. You lot aren't once bitten. You're twice, thrice, 100 times, 1,000 times. We're 1,000 times bitten, but we're not shy. We're annoyed. We're angry. We've been hurt before in football terms. We've seen this before. The war chest. Things are going to be different this window. Show us. Show us that it's going to be different this window. Not with Tells, not with Dansos, not with Takais. Show us. Go and get experienced pro footballers. Go and bring in players that make us better. Go and bring in players that make that 11 better immediately. I don't want to see YouTube videos from YouTubers talking about how this 18-year-old revolutionizes football, how this 18-year-old is doing insane things. Oh my God, you'll never guess what this 17-year-old on loan did. I don't want to see that. There are people like Lubo. He supported Spurs for how many years now? 50, 60 years? He's bored of hearing this. I've supported Spurs for 40 years. I'm bored of hearing this. But we must have this window. I'm not saying we won't have it, but we need to see it. We need to see it. The next signing that Spurs bring in, it can't be another 20-year-old kid. It cannot be another Matisse Tell. It needs to be a statement of intent. It needs to be a signing or two where we all go, yes, we're going in the right direction. Because otherwise, talk is cheap. There's already people berating Frank. He must get top 4 or 5. But with this squad, with Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, Man United, all strengthening. Newcastle putting in bids left, right and centre for players. Villa will make their move. And suddenly people are saying, well, if Thomas Frank doesn't get top 4 or 5, he's failed. This squad needs surgery. And I love Thomas Frank. You all know that. My issue is nothing to do with Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank, for me, will coach us better. He will make us hard to beat. He will give us an identity, a philosophy, patterns of play. He will give us different styles and different tactics for different opposition. I have no problem with Thomas Frank. I wanted Thomas Frank. But I can't expect the man to perform miracles. Right now, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea are so far above us. It is unreal. That's just the four. That's the top four. That doesn't even add in Aston Villa, Newcastle, Man United, Man United finished above us, by the way. Manchester United finished 4 points above Spurs. And what have they done? Buemo, Cunha, possibly Gyökeres. And I'm sure they're going to do more. And they're going to be playing one game a week. So if Spurs really, truly want to get back in to that hunt for the Champions League, I'm not saying it's a given, but if we want to get back into that hunt for the top five, we need to give managers the best fighting chance to do that. And these other clubs are strengthening, and we are not. Tell doesn't make us stronger than we were last year. He was here last year. Danso doesn't make us stronger than last year. He was here last year. Takai, 20 years old. I don't know. As I said, he could be the greatest signing ever. But does he automatically walk in at centre-back and make us stronger? So I'll round out this. I'll round out this speech, if you will, by saying this. Tottenham aren't the biggest club in the world. We are not City. We are not Liverpool. We're not Arsenal. We're not Chelsea. We're not United. But with hard work, sensible signings, a couple that walk into this first team, even if it's two players that go boom, straight into the 11 and upskill us, anything is possible. I'm not talking about winning titles, baby steps. But we're currently sitting 17th in the Premier League because of the awful regime we've just seen. We are 17th in the Premier League. We have a lot of catching up to do. It's like snakes and ladders. And we found that snake and we went right away from the top to the bottom. And we now need to find those ladders. We now need to go out there and start working our way. If we look at the league table from last year, the first set of circumstances should be right. Brentford and Fulham finished 10th and 11th. There's your first target. Get to those guys, right? Now we've got to kick on to the Brightons, the Forests and the Bournemouths in 7th and 8th and 9th. There's your second lot that you need to overtake. That's the second lot that you need to overtake. Now you're up with the big boys. Now you're up with Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Liverpool as the title holders. That's what we need to do. That's exactly what Tottenham Hotspur need to do. Will we do it? Will we do it? There's the question I'm asking you all as Spurs fans. Yes, it's the 26th of June. Yes, Spurs' financial year doesn't start until July. But how many of you believe in your heart of hearts? How many of you believe that we're going to see a couple of big signings? How many of you believe that we're going to have the players in place ready for pre-season, ready to go to South Korea? How many of you believe that? Because I want to believe it. And that 5% of me that is the kid in me wants to believe that. The Spurs enthusiast from all those years ago that believes Spurs are the greatest club in the world believes we're going to do that. But the grown-up in me, the adult in me, the Spurs fan who's been bitten 1,000 times in me, the fan that's seen how Daniel Levy and Enic act for 24, 25 years, that fan in me tells me we're not going to do it. And I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong so much. I want next week, the week after, that Spurs go, there you go, boom, there's Eze, boom, there's Semenyo or Kudus. I'm just fill the blanks in with the names you want. Boom, there's a Paulinho. I want to believe that we do that. I want to believe that we go into this season saying, that's a good team we've got there. That manager should be competing for the top 5. That's what I want to believe. At the moment, I just don't know if I believe it. The immediate signing of Matisse Tell told me so much. It told me that we're lazy. It told me that we're not backing a manager. It told me that we've not scouted properly. Then to follow it up with a 20-year-old, and by the way, looks good on the videos, but it told me immediately that the club talk a lot and that we don't act. I'll leave that little speech there. But Thomas Frank has a massive job to do here. And I think everyone needs to get behind him. The things that I'm being said about Thomas Frank, I think are actually disgusting. This is a hard-working manager who lives, breathes, and eats football. This is a fantastic coach. We know the limitations that any manager coming into Tottenham has. But you know what? Get behind him. Let him coach. Let him build. Let him grow. And don't be blinded by the Europa League. We won the Europa League, but to do that, we had to be the worst I've ever seen Tottenham to do that. That's where Frank is picking us up from. He's got a big job to do, and we need to help him do it as a fan base and, more importantly, the ownership. Anyway, let me get to some super chats. Sorry, that's where I am, guys. I hear every day. I hear people every single day saying, "Now Savva thinks this. You don't want trophies. You don't want this. You this. You that." That's how I feel. That's how I feel.